Integrity. My dad was the first person to teach me about integrity. He always kept his promise. He would never break a promise. He told me always to be careful about what promises I made, and that if I made them, then I was committed to making sure I followed through. I didn't know that was what integrity was till much later at a landmark forum experience where we talked about integrity being your word. I mean, my word is pretty golden. If I give it, I take it seriously and try to only give it when I mean it. But I've just recently begun to understand integrity and that living of one's word as more than just kind of like, be a good person and say what you mean and do what you say, and more to do with mattering in the world. The people that don't have integrity aren't necessarily people who are bad and don't have integrity. They're actually people who don't think they matter enough, that their word matters enough. And I got that through the class, the leadership class, and through John, and in other ways in this experience, that mattering to yourself and to others, seeing yourself as a child of God and knowing that your word actually creates waves of one kind or another, supports me to take further responsibility for what I say. And now it's becoming more nuanced. Now I'm really in tune. Well, okay, there's an example. I'm not really in tune. I'm attuning to my, inauthentic expressions, my need to please, my need to charm, my need to get. And so I don't know what that has to do with integrity, except that that's all tied up with, me and my sense of who I am, which is more than my thoughts and more than my wounds and more than my ego and more than my need for significance and more than my need to be special. And more than my need to be seen as a person who has integrity. There's a divine integrity that I'm having to really address in the last couple of years. It's my conversations with myself, my own ego, and with God. Yeah, I'm just in the middle of something. 1 minute. Sorry. Didn't want to close this off because I got 20 more seconds. Divine integrity means like being integrous to myself, not to my ego necessarily, but to that, part of me that's bigger, that can see, why I don't keep my word, or how I say yes when I mean no, or no when I mean yes, and have compassion for that and keep evolving and staying out of the way. So integrity is integrity to others in terms of living your word, but it's also integrity to self, and integrity to self as in the self that sees the self. Maybe that's divine, maybe there's other levels. But when you come from God, integrity is implicit.